Hello. Hello everybody. Hello. Hello everybody. There we go, it's working. Let's just share that on Twitter. Hello everybody who's watching. Hello, say hello in the chat, and let's get cracking. Solitaire to save the world. So if I manage to clear the board and stuff first time, then what will happen is Donald Trump is going to lose the election. If I don't, then Donald Trump is going to win the election. As simple as that. As simple as that. Oh, let's play Spider Solitaire with... Oh, okay. Right, there's two suits then. We played with one suit yesterday. We'll try and play with two today. So I hope everybody's okay today. Oh gosh, that wasn't a very good start, was it? I hope that everybody is okay. Everybody watching is alright, and they all had a lovely day. If you didn't, don't worry, it's over, and there'll be another day soon. I've had an okay day. It's been an interesting week coming back to school now, because all the kids are wondering why they're at school when everybody else is going to be locked down. But yes, they don't. Well, the government don't seem to. They don't seem to care. Right then, let's see, where are we? I think I might be a little bit stuck at the minute. Oh no. Why can't that move? Okay. I think what we learned about this game yesterday is that it's a game of patience. It's a game of understanding the rules and knowing the rules. That's what you need to. It's basically what you need to do. I haven't understood the rules at times, and that's what's let me down, really. So I'm hoping that we can do better today, but it could be quite a challenge. No sign of a streak yet. No sign of anybody in the chat either. Do you know what? I think I've peaked a little bit with. I can only do it with one. With one thing. I can't even speak. Goodness, no wonder there's nobody watching. I don't understand. Right, I'm obviously not good enough for expert. Oh, come on. Yes, okay, fine. Perhaps we'll just stick with one suit. Hey, Mike Evans is here. Mike, we're playing Solitaire to save the world. I hope you're okay. We've had a good day. Yeah, so what we're doing is, if I manage to win, then then Donald Trump will not be elected. We've agreed. The government and I have agreed that Trump will not be elected if I win this game here. As you've just joined, you won't know that I tried to do it on expert level and I failed miserably. Oh, now we're talking. Oh my gosh, yes, we've nailed it. We've got a run and we haven't even had to get the other cards out. We just need an ace now. The ace of spades. The ace of spades. Oh, that's a shame. That's as far as we can go, I think, on this one. Whee! How did that happen? Made. It's gone very quiet in the chat. All I can imagine is that people are so focused on the game and the importance of it, the significance of it. People will talk about this. People will say, in many years to come, they'll say, what were you doing when Donald Trump was elected for his second term? And they'll say, well, I was watching Tom Rouse playing Solitaire, and he said that if he won, that Trump wouldn't get elected, but he just didn't win. I can hear lots of people blaming me, really, for what's inevitable. I think that old Trumpton is going to win the election. I don't want him to, but I think he will. I think he will, you know. And I think there's part of me that thinks if I think that it will happen, then it won't happen. But I think he's going to win. Let me know in the chat if you think Trumpton's going to win the election. Here we go, another little roll. If we could just get an ace of spades out somewhere. Is there going to be an ace of spades over there? No. Under this one? No. Under this one? No. Okay. Never mind. We move on. So this game is all about you just need to just keep moving on, keep ploughing on. Don't worry about the, don't worry about what's gone. Focus on what's ahead in this game. That's what you got to do. Ah, people want to talk about wolves. Come on now. I think I saw that Leicester. I saw a little bit of the Leicester game last night against Leeds, and I don't know if it was Leeds just having a bit of an off day, or whether Leicester were that good. I know that Leeds shot themselves in the foot quite a few times and sort of just handed them a couple of goals, but it did. They've always been very close games with Leicester since we've been promoted, all four of them, and I think it's a big game in terms of our ambition. Again, I mean, the number of times we've had these games where, thanks, that's a great clue. The number of times in recent years we've had these games where if we win and we can go up into fourth place or something like that and secure a decent spot, but then the number of times that we blow those games as well, because I don't know whether we're mentally ready for it just yet. I think there's a lot of the players are still very young, very immature, and they're not quite ready for these enormous games yet. Like the one-off occasions against like Man United in the Cup or something like that, they're brilliant. But then there's other games where they turn up for these huge games and they're just terrible. Do you know what I mean? So I hope that we can do something against Leicester. And if we do, I think then it's a serious statement of intent for the season. I think it's been a decent start, and I think if we win, then we can push on. I made a silly little video. Well, I called one of the podcasts the other week. I called it "Wolves Will Win the Premier League," and it was a little bit, tongue in cheek. It was very much tongue in cheek at the time. But since then, we nearly beat Newcastle. We should have beaten Newcastle, and then we've beaten Crystal Palace. We've put ourselves in this very strong position for the start of the season. If we beat Leicester, then I think it's been the best start to a Premier League season that we've ever had. And then, well, who knows what would happen next. But I do think a lot lies on the game at the weekend. And then the following games against Southampton as well, who themselves have had a magnificent start to the season. They've been unreal since they lost 9-0 a year ago. They've been insane. They've been arguably one of the best teams in the league. If you take City and Liverpool out of it, I think there's probably only been United who've been better than so if you take Liverpool and City and United out of it, and then Chelsea probably as well, and I know we've been pretty good as well. We've been pretty consistent. If you take those out of it, then Southampton have been the best team. So if you take Liverpool, Chelsea, City, United, Wolves, if you take them out of it, then I think Southampton have been probably the best team around. But yeah, I think it's a really interesting couple of games. James Ward-Prowse, his free kicks against Villa were absolutely out of this world. Amazing. I know there was one that was disallowed, but it was a free kick in and it was disallowed. But it was amazing, freakish almost. Kind of makes you miss Barry Douglas, really, doesn't it? You cannot deal with the rows are empty. Okay, you can go there then, Sonny Jim. Oh gosh. 3, 2, 1. God, there's just so many cards everywhere. It's such a mess. It just needs just a little break. There we go. Because I think we've got another run here now. Referee, Lino. Yeah, James Ward-Prowse. Very, very good. Very, very impressive. He seems to have re-emerged as a very, very good player. I think he started his career as a really good player, and then he sort of disappeared again, and then now he's come back, and he's really good again. Does he play for England at the moment? I don't know who's in the England team. Is he an England player? Oh, sorry. I need that 8. No, hang on, I can't do that. I need an 8. I don't even know what position is James Ward-Prowse as well. He seems to just be a bit of a nomad. Is he a right back? I don't know anything about football, so I don't have a football channel anymore. People don't want my opinions, do they? I need that 8. I need an 8. Give me an 8. Is there a 4 I can put this down? Oh. Nope. Ah, Aha! Oh, no. Now I need to go. There we go. Woohoo! Oh no. Oh, maybe that was okay. Got that anyway. Yes, because then I can do this. CDM. I see. DM. Yeah, he's alright. He is. I think in terms of English players, anyway. If you know what I mean. He's no Aaron Ramsey, though, is he? I wonder if anybody's actually sitting there enjoying this now. I very much doubt it. I am, though. And that's all that really matters. So if you're watching this, I've lost so many subscribers in the last few weeks. In the last couple of days, I've probably lost about 20 subscribers, something like that, from playing Solitaire. Oh god, people must think I've gone mad. But really, I've just lost interest. That right? I'm hoping that's going to be a 9. Are you joking? Come on, ref. Ugh. Oh, so we've got 2 more rows left. This one looks like it's in the bag, pretty much, hopefully. And then we might have time to play another game. I think yesterday we had such a stinker at the beginning that we don't even really get one game in, but this has been so quick that we'll be able to get more than one of these in. As you can see, it's on easy. I am rubbish, but what you hopefully will see over this month of November Solitaire is that there will be improvement, progression. Thank you. Oh my gosh, this is never ending. Can I end it? Oh, there we go. Level 2. Woo! Oh, level 2 must be super hard because I'm having to do another game on it. Maybe we'll try medium with 1 suit. Come on. This is what people have come to see. This is the progression. This is what people want. The pace. Oh gosh, I'm stuck. Can I do anything there? No, don't think so, no. Oh, Kevin and Mary from the NEW. Not NEW, NEU. Leave me alone. What kind of music do I listen to? Well, Mike Evans, I did a video the other day going through my favourite Oasis albums, ranking my favourite Oasis albums. Oasis is probably my favourite band, but in terms of modern music, it's still quite indie music. That's what I like, is indie bangers, indie belters. So like, of new bands, I'd say like Catfish and the Bottlemen, I quite like. I like Blossoms a lot. They're probably my favourite of the modern bands. Oh, we're doing. So yeah. But then classics like the Beatles, I like. So yes, that kind of stuff. What about you, Mikey? Can I call you Mikey? I should have some kind of background music here. Am I allowed to do that? Or is it just going to get blocked in if I put music on? It'll get blocked, wouldn't it? I think we can all enjoy just sitting in silence, sitting in a bit of quiet, playing a little bit of Solitaire. I think it's very, very relaxing. And at the moment, with what's going on in the world, not just COVID, but everything else, I think that's really important. We just sit and we play Solitaire. I can't stress that enough. We must just sit quietly and play Solitaire. Heavier side, Linkin Park is your favourite band. Very good, Mike. I like that. I've never listened to Linkin Park, to be honest. I know that they were. I know that lots of my friends liked them at one point, but they were never quite my scene. It was too much softer type of music is my favourite, I think. Right then. This is much harder. I've just gone up to medium, haven't I? And you really can tell. You really can tell. It's much, much harder. And I'm much. Oh my gosh! I must have clicked on somebody else's live stream, and it said 247 people. But they were just opening Pokemon cards. Is that what? Shall I do that? Would people watch that? Oh man, I really couldn't give a monkeys about people watching anymore. Well, I believe we've got our first run. That felt good. On medium level, we've got a run. I feel like such a grown up. So 876, I need a 9 to pop that on. I need a 3, 2 and a 1. I can see one nearly. Oh, that's so annoying. You reckon you'll be on the Talking Wars podcast again at some point? If they ask me, I always say yes. Whenever any podcast invitation comes up, I've never yet said no to anybody, including a couple of ones that nobody would have ever listened to. So there was one called the All Tier football podcast or something like that I did in the summer. That it was these two lads. One was a Stoke fan, I think, and one was from somewhere else. And it wasn't. I don't think it was particularly good. But they asked me on, and I went on, and I did it. And they said I was really good, which is nice. But yeah, if Dave is watching, and I very much doubt that, I know they've just done a podcast today. I haven't listened to it. For me, and I've told them before when I used to do more stuff with them. If you're going to do a podcast, to me it seems a little bit pointless if you're not doing it every week. You have to do podcasts every week, really. And they're doing it too infrequently. They're doing it once a month, I'd say, probably, which is fine. But it's I don't know. It's just not frequent enough for me. But it's not my podcast, is it? So I can't really comment. But it's always good. I remember one of the last times I listened to it was when I was in Madrid. What's the key, do you think, to a good podcast? I can't tell you. I don't know what a good podcast this is. I haven't got one. Although I'm really enjoying the Absolute Scenes podcast that I do with Billy at the moment. And I think it's taken us the best part of a year to get to a format that we enjoy and that seems to be relatively successful. When I say relatively successful, by which I mean compared to our own numbers, we're now getting slightly more downloads than before. I think you've got to have more than one person on it. That's why I've struggled with YouTube at this point, is because if, like, Talking Wolves will be fine forever, because there's always going to be or you know, unless they fall out for whatever reason, but there'll always be two of them. There'll always be Matt and Dave doing it. But so you've always got to have two people doing whatever it is, because like this time last year I was getting sick of doing videos and stuff and talking about the games afterwards. I wasn't enjoying it in the slightest. So you need to have somebody else with you to sort of gee you along and offer some kind of different opinion, even though you might not actually agree with that opinion. So there's times when I was on the Talking Wolves podcast when it was so obvious what everybody thought, and everybody agreed, oh yeah, Ruben Neves is amazing, or Moutinho's the best player Wolves have ever seen, all this stuff. Although that is true, to just offer some kind of different opinion and have a discussion, it's much more entertaining to listen to, I think. So podcasts with multiple people on him, consistency, having the same kind of chat, the same kind of discussion every week, I think is better. The best podcasts are one that have audience participation, audience interaction all the time. So podcasts that have loads of emails in all the time, and communication that way, I think is really, really good. And so, like, the podcast that I've been listening to recently is Bud Pod by two comedians, one called Phil Wang, who's quite famous, and then Pierre Novelli, who is slightly less famous, but still quite entertaining, quite funny. But yes, so are you thinking of starting a podcast, Mike, or are you just discussing? Just wanted to have a bit of a discussion. Either way, I appreciate your input. The chat is just Mike Evans Central down there as well. If there's anybody else watching who wants to get involved or ask any questions or anything, then feel free. I will answer them because there's not a lot else for me to talk about, unless, you know, Solitaire is your bag. But there's a lot of very, very good podcasts. I go in waves with podcasts as well, because I've also got Audible, and I listen to a lot of audiobooks from time to time as well, or have been recently since lockdown. I bought an Audible, subscription, and then I've sort of tried to discover what kinds of books that I like, because I'm not a massive fan of fiction or stuff like that. I honestly don't listen to many others, just you guys and Talking Wolves. I did see Steve-O's the other week, pretty funny. Steve-O's in Jackass, he's got a podcast, does he? Oh, here we go. Right, which king shall I use? I think I'm going to use this one. Whee! Got somebody else in the comments. Hello. Most fans' dream goal is to win the league title. Do you feel Nuno can achieve that, or will there come a time when we have to move up a tier? From Nuno, I remember talking about that kind of question a while ago, and people going, "Oh, you can't sack Nuno." But I think there might come a time where we actually see that Nuno's reached his peak or his shelf life with us. But will he have won a title first? It's a great question. I think he's going to win trophies at Wolves. I think we will win a trophy with Nuno. This is a difficult one though. Will you win the title? I don't think so. Unless he wins it this year, which he could, which I've said he can. What do you all think? Do you think that Nuno would win the league with Wolves? Do you think that's possible? I'd imagine if Wolves won the league, Wolverhampton would never stop, ever. People would just talk about it for years and years and years. Oh, what's going on? Now the problem is here, I think I've got all the cards out. So I think I need to do this. I think I just need to get... I was saving that nice little run because it looked pretty, not because of any other reason. There we go. Get another card out. There we go. Nice. We're on a bit of a roll now. Yes, I'd love. I think Nuno to win the league at Wolves. I don't know what other managers would you go for at the moment though, who are not Nuno. I don't think there's anybody out there who I think is better than Nuno in the Premier League, certainly. Yeah, at least a cup, but maybe not the league. Don't know, it's not impossible, says Mike Evans. It's difficult, isn't it? Because now Leicester have done. Now, when Leicester did it, everyone was like, "Oh, well, this opens the door for so many other teams who are of similar stature," which is true, and we are of that kind of similar stature. I always describe them as like mid of the road, sort of. Nothing exciting ever happens really, or nothing too exciting ever happens. But then, all of a sudden, bang! They win the league or something crazy. And who knows? It could. could happen to Wolves. Just imagine if it did. Now we're cooking. Hello. Do you think any of these current players are going to win the league? Do you think Jota is going to win the league with Liverpool? He's in the news, isn't he? There was a BBC article about Jota today saying, "Well, Jota's in form. Should he be replacing Firmino as the main guy for Liverpool?" It's so funny because when he left, I still do think this. I don't think he was very good for Wolves last season. I don't think he played very well, and we were right to get rid of him because I don't think he did very well. And there we go. Come on! We're doing so well. That's 2 games that we've completed tonight in 35 minutes. Thank you, thank you. Cheers, cheers, cheers. So, let's see if we've got a favourite Jota moment. There's only one. There is only one. 3-2 against Hull, his first goal. No, I think it's you can't look past that United goal, can you? The Man United goal in the FA Cup is so good. Just everything about that that goal is perfect. The way that it's a long ball from Neves, Jota chases it down, Luke Shaw falls on his backside, and then just the strike and the roar and everything about that goal is perfect. It has to be the best Jota moment. Although are there many others. The Leicester hat-trick, the last goal in that game, that was a really good moment as well. I YouTube that goal once a week. Well, there's a scream as well that I really like in that goal. When Jota goes through as soon as he enters the penalty area, there's a woman that screams, a really high-pitched woman scream, and I just think, well, I'm assuming it's a woman. It could well have been a man. I know that I made some noises on that night that I've never made before or since, but it's such a good goal. Some of our players have improved a lot. Neves is really holding the midfield really well. Now Dendoncker is playing very well. I think that is a big thing that's improved for us is we can win is the midfield. I think Dendoncker is such an underrated player. I think he's so good. His versatility for one is second to nobody else in the club. But then also you've got he's quick. He doesn't look quick because he runs so weird, but he's really quick across the ground. He plays World Cup semi-finals and stuff. He's a top international player, and I can't believe people don't like him. There are a lot of Wolves fans who don't rate him at all, and I'd love to sit down and have a chat with him about it because he is amazing. I think some people can't look past his error in the FA Cup semi-final, which we don't like to talk about. But I know that because I used to teach what's his job? He was like the politics editor at the Express and Star. I used to teach his son, and then a couple of days after the semi-final, he came in and told me that his dad had said to him that the Express and Star had a new editor at the time who was an Albion fan, and he was determined. He really wanted to have the front cover on the Monday after the cup game to say Den Plonker, but then the general consensus, they managed to convince him not to do that because it would just cause riots in Wolverhampton. But It's terrible. That still gives me nightmares. I still think we certainly wouldn't have lost 6-0 in the FA Cup final, put it that way. But we would have, at that point, I think we probably would have lost to Manchester City because they were so good at that time. I know that we have beaten them every time since, bar the last game, but that was behind closed doors, so that doesn't count. Because if you play behind closed doors, you know, all bets are off, which is why Wolves are going to win the league. But yeah, it's very, very sad, isn't it? The FA Cup final, still. Oh, excuse me. Do you think Adama will only really be an impact sub? Seems to have gone back to that role at the moment. Well, it's similar to the position Sace finds himself in that Nuno can't drop Nouri now, Ait Nouri, because he was fantastic the other night. How on earth can Nuno bring in Sace or Marcel now for Nouri? Because he was very, very good. That also, the balance in the team from Friday night, I don't know what you lot thought, but the balance was amazing. You had a proper left back, a proper right back. You had a left-footed striker, a right-footed striker, and perhaps 2 left-footed. I think it is Neto left-footed as well. Or either way, there was a much better balance amongst the whole of the team. And then everything's just kind of flowed a lot better than previously. But yeah, Adama, I think, is in a difficult position. I'm assuming he's going to sign a new contract. Or has he signed? I don't think he's signed a new contract already, has he? But he seems to be very close to signing one. And like I've said before, I wouldn't be upset if we sold Traore at the minute, because the kind of money that's been offered to us or been speculated about, I don't think he's worth that amount of money. I think we'd be robbing people blind if we managed to get like 60, 70, 80 million for somebody like Traore, but you never know. I think there'll be some games where we'll need Adama to start if we need to try the counter-attack. Liverpool struggled with him last season, so maybe then. Maybe. You'd think against the lesser teams that Traore would be more effective, because his pace and all that sort of stuff. They'd instantly be thinking, oh no, we need to have 2 players back. We need to make sure we double mark him, and all that sort of stuff. They'd already, from the first whistle, be panicking and worrying about it. And that's what you want to do to teams, is to get them out of their comfort zone straight away, thinking, rather than just playing their natural game. So that, personally, that's what I'd be doing. But it doesn't seem that that's what Nuno wants to do. Nuno tends to keep him back all the time at the minute. But what do I know? I'm just a solitaire player. Just a measly solitaire player. Quite a lot of people watching the stream at the moment. Say hello in the chat. Like the stream as well, if you will. But yeah, for those of you who perhaps haven't watched this before, or just stumbled across it somehow, then do subscribe to the channel. Like there's anybody here who hasn't already subscribed. But yeah, the reason I'm doing this now is because of the impending lockdown. I thought I'd provide some kind of comfort, perhaps for people, or discomfort for other people, but some kind of regular and up to date, everyday sort of live stream for an hour or so. I said I'd play games. I'd like to play Football Manager. The most up-to-date Football Manager I've got on here is Football Manager 2013, and I think when I get that running and OBS running, the streaming software, it just all comes to a halt. So yeah, why can't you stream a couple of dolly birds playing strip jack naked? All the card games you could have chosen. What's next? Snap? You're absolutely right, Mr. Splash. We've got Mahjong Titans coming up later in the week, which is basically Snap. So yeah, tune in for that. We've got that coming up later in the week. I might not be doing one of these tomorrow, purely because of logistics. So if you've been tuning in daily for these, then I'm very, very sorry. There probably won't be one tomorrow. If there will be one, there'll be quite a short one, perhaps maybe, I don't know, some kind of entertainment somewhere, somehow. And then Thursday, maybe I'm going to try, I haven't spoken to Billy yet, but we might try to live stream the podcast, perhaps, just to provide even further entertainment for people. I know there's a lot to handle, but it's desperate times bring desperate measures. So yeah, but I'm enjoying it, and there seems to be a few people who are tuning in all the time anyway. I mean, there's as many as 6 people watching right now, which is 6 more than I thought than there would be. Uno, is there a better game? Is there a better game than Uno? Get in the chat down below. Is there a better game than Uno? Uno. Actually, I did think of a question not too long ago for you. If you can say, do you have any funny teacher stories? Of course, I've got funny teacher stories. Come on now. Come on. Of course I have. Can I say any of them to you though? That's a different question. I'll have to think. There's definitely one. I don't know what's more tempting, the aforementioned games or this bottle of pills and razor blades on the table next to me. Oh man. Come on now, things can't be that bad. Come on. Chin up there, Mr. Splash. So when I was taught in Wales, there was I was teaching in a class of children. They were year 3 children, and in the class there was a really bad ratio of boys to girls. It was something like 25 boys and 6 girls, which if you don't teach, just imagine that number of boys and then very few girls. It's very, very difficult. But anyway, there was one day in the winter, and I thought, it's raining, it's horrible, it's nasty weather, but we all need a little bit of a break, we need a bit of a breather, let's go and do some PE. So I took them outside and left the door open so that we could get back in, rather than disrupting other teachers and help, making them open the door for us. So we came back into the classroom then at the end of the session, and I went to the back of the class went in first, and then I could hear a lot of commotion, a lot of jostling and shouting and all sorts of stuff. I was thinking, oh my gosh, what's going on here? And then as I entered the classroom, there was a little robin that had found its way into the classroom and was swirling around the place and pooing everywhere. And I didn't know what to do. I was a little bit younger than I was at the time, than I am now, obviously. And I was thinking, oh my god, what am I going to do here? So I went into the classroom next to me. It was a much more experienced teacher. He was a 6'5", he was massive, 6'5" rugby player. And I said, oh, excuse me, could you help me? Could you please come and help me with this bird? There's a bird in my classroom. And he went, no, I'm afraid of birds. So in the end, I had to, I can't remember how I did it in the end. I think I had a big box or something like that. That's what he gave me, this big plastic box to try and catch a bird in this really, really tall, high classroom. And I couldn't catch it. I think I managed to sort of get a sheet or something like that and eventually get it out. But it was a mad afternoon. And obviously the children did no work after that, other than think about the bird in the classroom. It was a good story though. I remember coming home and telling that, and enjoying telling that as well, yes. Mr. Splash, Dick Splash, has said he's got a teacher story. My teacher was that cross-eyed she couldn't control her pupils. We made her cry once and her tears rolled down her back. Lovely stuff. It's nothing vicious. That's why we like that. So any more teacher tales from anybody, we'll be happy to share them. I've got a nice little organised thing here, but I'm going to have to disrupt it a little bit to be able to put out the thing. If a bird pooed Britannia, wouldn't that end the relationship? It would. Of course it would. You can't be carrying on from that, can you? How people can do that and then look each other in the eye is beyond me. Now what's wrong with that? Oh, there's no Jack. You all Jacker clubs. Yeah, why are people into that sort of stuff? I mean, this isn't that kind of channel. I don't want to spend ages on this subject, but people are genuinely into that sort of stuff, aren't they? Ugh. And oh, we've done it. We've absolutely cracked it. Woohoo! Yay! Right. Okay. Shatter. Thank you. Okay, right. So do you think Traore is surplus to requirements, Tom? I think I do. Let's see if I can do this within the stream. I want to try and make me bigger now, just so that I'm filling the screen. Whoa! There you go. Do I think that Traore is surplus to requirements? It appears that way at the minute. Doesn't it? Because is this the new Hearthstone deck? I don't know what that means, Carl. But you joined us. Well, I've finished playing Solitaire now. I've saved the world. So join us another time to see if that continues. But we're just finishing off the stream by talking about Adama Traore. Is he surplus to requirements? Well, yeah, really, because is he contributing anything positive? Has he contributed anything this season? No, he hasn't. If a club comes in with 60-70 million pounds bid for him now, I would take that. In a heartbeat. But the potential for him when he does play well, there's not a player like him in the world, is there? What do you lot think? Do you think that we should be getting rid of Traore? Would you get rid of Traore? And for what price? What price would you get rid of Traore? For what price a Traore? Let's have a look at his stats for this season. So apparently, according to Transfermarkt, he's worth 40 million. 40 million pounds for Traore. Hang on, let me show you what I can see. This is so high tech. Now I want to change me again to be small. Sorry. Whoop. Adama Traore is as fast as lightning. He's frightening. So 7 appearances, no goals, no assists. Let's look at last season actually. It's a bit unfair looking at this season. A big fee would be enticing, but let's run out his contract. He might have an epiphany and start scoring. Oh dear. Oh no. I thought it was going to tell me from last season. All seasons. Adama. Filter by season. Let's just have a look at last season. 19-20. Catch you later, Tom. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you another time. So Adama. So did he only score 4 goals in last season in the Premier League? Who were they against? Were they all against Man City? No, there was one against Spurs in there. So there was 2 at the Etihad, 1 against Man City and one against Spurs. Was that it? Oh my god, 9 assists as well. Is he that good? Is he that good? So 37 games in the Premier League that he appeared in last year out of 38. What was the one game that he didn't play then? So 14 times at right wing back, 33 times at right wing, 5 times as a central striker. When did that happen? I don't remember that. Does it tell you on here? He's doing club playing role for sure, but would he be happy playing that role? It's difficult, and I suppose it depends on the quality of the player. If he thinks, you know what, I'm going to win, I'm going to be successful here, then surely it would be, beneficial. Some teams can handle him, but when we are against teams that cannot handle him, he does so well. If his strike had gone in the weekend, then we would not be saying this. I can't remember. He had a chance to do it the weekend. Oh yeah, I vaguely remember in the second half, wasn't he? Well, yeah, obviously because he came on the second half. I didn't realise that either. He's played for Wolves more than he's played for anybody else. He hasn't played 98 times for Wolves, has he? That's mad. That's so many times. $5,000 minutes for Wolves. Oh man, look at all these games as well. It makes me sad. Makes me really sad looking back through these games. Just thinking, what would I give to go back and watch that 1-0 against Slovan Bratislava again? Was it that game? I think it was that game. It was terrible. It was awful, and it was when Jimenez overhead kicked somebody's head off, and then the Besiktas game was the Jota show, and so was the Espanyol game, wasn't it, as well? Imagine that Olympiacos second leg if there'd have been a crowd. Put it this way, I would not get rid of anyone to keep him, but I would not get rid of him to bring someone else in. If he wanted to go, then he should. If he wants to stay, then he should. I think Adama probably would stay, wouldn't he? I think he was. If he was given the choice, I'd imagine that he'd stay. Alright, so that's the third. Woo! It's the third live stream completed. We've done nearly an hour. I think we've done an hour now, haven't we? We've been on for. Thank you very much to everybody who's watched again. Remember his early days, he was a tad rubbish, but I have faith in him. I know he will come good when him and Semedo click. That right side of the pitch will need fire extinguishers on the sideline. Absolutely. But yeah, thank you very much for people who've watched. I promise I will play some more interesting games, not just Solitaire. But at the moment, I really enjoyed playing that today. Let me know. I mean, if there's anybody out there who cares about what I play, then let me know. Otherwise, like the stream, please, and I'll see you. Maybe not tomorrow, but probably the next day for lockdown 2. But let me know if you're enjoying these, keeping you a little bit of company, and yeah, I'll see you on the flip of the flop. Bye bye.